Hello guys and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analyzing and talking about the NASDAQ 100. Just before I start today's video, I just want to let you all know about my signal service. If you would like to receive my trading signal, so copy the trades that I place on a daily basis, then please head over to my website, dailymarketmovements.com. The website link is in the description of today's video. I charge a very small fee of $29.99. But back to the NASDAQ 100, we are seeing some joy at last after pretty much 4 trading sessions in a row trading in the negative here. The NASDAQ 100 has finally seen a bounce. We're up around 1.5% here on this particular futures, but I think the overall futures were up just shy of 2%. So we've seen a lovely bounce here. The session highs were all the way up at 13,400. The big question is, will this bounce last? And to be honest with you, your guess is as good as mine. But again, this is something that I kind of forecast that we will be trading within this triangle of this wedge here over the next couple of weeks. And I think I showed you in yesterday's video that we've still got another 17 or probably 16 days now left of trading within this triangle. There you go. It takes us pretty much 16 days until this triangle expires. It's very important for those who are trading the NASDAQ 100 to understand that this down-sloping wedge that we're currently trading in, that's these 2 lines here, so ignore the ABC correction, these 2 lines here, this downward wedge is actually a bullish pattern. If we can break out towards the upside, which happens 73% of the time here when you do form a downward wedge, it's actually very bullish. So is this downward wedge the start of the formation of the bottom here for the NASDAQ 100? And I'm very happy that we have rallied during today's trading session. I put a post out over my Telegram group where I send out signals. So for everyone who's watching this video and follows my signal service, you'll know that I did put a post out saying that 13,000 was a very key area here for the NASDAQ 100. It was an area where I expected the bulls to come in and to protect this area. And I'm very happy to see that we have still stayed above 13,000. But we could potentially go higher. No, in theory, we could potentially rally. If we went and tested the top of that wedge, we could potentially go another 3.5%, maybe even 4% towards the upside. But I think that, over the next couple of days, we'll just kind of be bouncing up and down, up and down. We've got the VIX that's still around 30. So that's still basically telling us that there's still going to be an incredible amount of volatility from a day-to-day basis. But one thing that I do want to point out, guys, and just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who so far follows me on Instagram and Twitter. But on Instagram, and if you're not yet following me on Instagram, please do go and search us up, Daily Market Movements. It's a great opportunity for you to see tips and motivational content that I post on a daily basis. But I posted something earlier on this morning on the story, and I just basically summarized investing so far in 2020. Okay. And I think it was yesterday when I mentioned how difficult of a time period it has been for myself investing. And I'm no long-term professional in the financial markets. I'm not Warren Buffett. I'm not claiming to be Warren Buffett. I know that there's investors out there who are a lot more experienced than myself. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably new to investing, and it could be your first year. You might even be 2 or 3 years into your investing careers. But in my 8 years of trading, this is by far been probably the most challenging period, and that's because we are entering into a hiking interest rate environment, and we do have the potential of a nuclear or World War III, whatever you want to call what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. And I kind of just took a step back, and I kind of just looked at this correction that has occurred here for the NASDAQ 100. So if we put it from the top, we're currently down 20.85%. At the lows, we were down around 23% here for the NASDAQ 100. So well into a bear market territory. And I kind of thought to myself, well, what has actually been priced in here? And it kind of shocked me when I wrote down on a bit of paper, and I posted this on my story, as I just mentioned, on Daily Market Movements. It's still up, so go and check it out. But number 1, inflation has hit a 40-year high. 2, crude oil hits a 14-year high. We have banks and hedge funds saying that there's the potential for 7 to 8 interest rate hikes this year alone. The Fed has announced that, we are entering into a hiking cycle, and that tomorrow we are expected to see a 25 basis point hike. The Fed will also be shrinking the balance sheet. Russia, of course, has invaded Ukraine. The West have put record amounts of sanctions on Russia. The Russian economy is now entering into a deep recession. Wheat has hit a brand new all-time high. China have just announced a new COVID outbreak. China have also just imposed a new lockdown on 50 million people. Supply chains continue to get stressed, and of course, this will be because of the China's lockdown as well. Nickel has hit a brand new all-time high, causing even more inflation along with wheat. That's why we're already seeing vehicle prices go up by another $1,000 to $2,000 because most vehicles are made out of nickel. North Korea has continued to test long-range missiles. This is something we saw in the news a few weeks ago. The S&P 500 is well into correction territory. The NASDAQ100 is now in a bear market. European stocks have entered into a bear market. The Chinese stock market has now entered into a bear market. The VIX is trading above 30, which indicates there's plenty of fear in the market. And we're seeing the 2 to 10 year yield spread fast approaching zero, which basically indicates that the US economy may be entering into a recession in the upcoming months. When you take a step back and you think all of that negativity is priced into the market at this moment in time, that to me, or actually I should start by saying that to most people would scare the crap out of them. And that gives them every reason to be shorting here. And that is why we've seen the market decline 23%. But to me, I see that as a fantastic opportunity to be buying here. Look how much negativity is priced into the NASDAQ 100 at this moment in time. Look how much room there is for things to go right. Let's say if Putin did withdraw his troops, let's say if we did see crude oil fall down, which it already has started to doing. I think we've seen crude oil fall down 30%. Let's see, what if wheat starts to fall down, nickel starts to fall down? What if China's outbreak of COVID actually starts to calm down and they come out of lockdown? What if supply chains start to come down? What if inflation starts to come down? This is all left room here for the NASDAQ 100, for the S&P 500, for the Dow Jones 30 and other European global stocks. This gives it plenty of room for us to have good news, and good news will give us interest rate hikes. And of course, we have the Fed minutes meeting tomorrow, and I am fully anticipating the Fed to come out with a 25 basis point hike, and for investors to just be happy that we're actually hiking interest rates, because if anything further down the line does go wrong, the Fed has a cushion that it can kind of help the stock market, it can help the financial market and the US economy. So all in all, it's been a very, very tricky start to 2022. I completely understand. If you're a retail trader, the chances are you've probably blown up your account. And I completely understand. It has been incredibly difficult, but if you have any extra cash on the side saved up right now, I think right now is a fantastic opportunity to buy, and I think that this could even be the golden opportunity of 2022. So, as long as you are using a good risk management strategy, you don't want to be going all in on one trade. The NASDAQ 100 could potentially fall lower. It could potentially go all the way down to around 11,700. That's not impossible. We could even go and visit the bottom of his range, which is down at 12,300. It could even go a little bit lower. But I think all in all, the risk ratio here right now is very attractive. You can put a stop loss down here at around 11,700 and your take profit up at around 16,700. And if your time horizon is within somewhere between the next 6 to 12 months, I think that is a very realistic target here for the NASDAQ 100. So I just want to come out and say, guys, the world isn't ending. We've been here in several previous occasions before. And these opportunities right now, when you see these 20% drops in the market, they actually offer fantastic golden buying opportunities. So please see this as a golden buying opportunity. And once we break out of the top side of this downsloping wedge, that is when I really believe the market will rally very fast towards the upside. And everyone who sold during this very stressful and negative period will be, really, really upset.